What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today we are going to be going over the Season 3 NBA 2K22 MyTEAM Awards, that season being the season of Iced Out. Now, no matter what you think of this season, I think it was just not a very good season overall in the grand scheme of things. But, I mean, with the devs being on, vacation or Christmas break, whatever you guys want to say, we're done. This season, it is over with. But let's take a moment, reflect back on who kind of was instrumental in this season. In this video today, we're going to be talking about who's the most overrated, underrated, defensive player of the year, all of that in this video today. Before we dive into that, if you are new to the channel and have not yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button as we're on the road to 90,000 subscribers. So we're going to start off here with the cheesiest player in Season 3 of MyTEAM. Now, we're going to start off with Steph Curry because, he was our first point guard that really was that 300. He can move and groove, he could dribble. Still on next gen, it's hard to really do anything. But with fading threes, there's no doubt Steph Curry was an absolute cheeseball. Then we got Shaq, Mash Man himself, until Yao Ming comes out on Friday. Shaq, he was, as far as inside bigs and defensive players, one of the, cheesier inside bigs in all of 2K. Talk about getting drop stepped. Shaq did a lot of that. And then the dentist. A shooting guard similar to a guy like Kobe and Clay who can handle the ball, be your primary ball handler. But Terry provided something else. He's 6'7", can play a little more defense, but on the offensive end, he has the Rudy base on quick. Super, super cheesy in general. All three of these guys are cheesy, but I'm going to go with Shaq. I hate playing against Shaq about as much as anybody, just because as an inside center, he's just so annoying and so tough to get a stop on. Next up, we're going to talk about the defensive player of the season, headlined by LeBron James Galaxy Open. Now, LeBron, obviously 6'9", comes with Hall of Fame interceptor, 56 base badges. You can get him 62 with every badge spot. Just a card that can do it all. 6'9", wide player model, just an incredible all-around defender. Kawhi Leonard, let's talk about the shooting guard position at 6'7" with his own defensive stance. Absolutely immaculate. If we're talking about on-ball defenders, I don't know if there's a better one in 2K. And then Shaq, again, at that center position. I played KG and D-Rob. Shaq is way better than those two on the defensive side of the ball. The only problem with Shaq is he is going to get tired pretty quickly. I'm going to give it to LeBron James. Now, the reason I'm going to give this award to LeBron is because he's 6'9". His player model is just absolutely absurd. And no matter whether you're on current gen or next gen, he is going to be an absolutely incredible defensive player. The most overrated card of Season 3 of MyTEAM is our next award. Now, we're going to start it off with Allen Iverson Galaxy Opal. Now, well, there's some people who love Allen Iverson. Some people say if you don't run Allen Iverson, you just don't know how to use him. Okay, you old head. Like Allen Iverson, look, I respect what he did in real life. In this game at 6 feet tall, he's just not it. Jamal Crawford, a card I was initially high on, spent my Hall of Fame badge on my last note, all my Hall of Fame badges on my last note money spent on him. He just never really lived up to my expectations. And then last but not least, Steph Curry. Steph's probably the best player here, but in general, a lot of people hype him up to being the best point guard in the game, and he's just not that. He's just not. My most overrated card is Allen Iverson. There should be no people using this card. There shouldn't have been anybody grinding for this card. He is absolutely worthless. Next up, the most underrated card in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. We're going to start off with Andre Drummond. If you watch my No Money Spent squad account, you know that I love Andre Drummond. Big fan of what he can give you on both ends of the court as far as an inside big. He's not as good as Shaq, right? Shaq's still going to be that dominating inside big, but he's kind of that off-brand Shaquille O'Neal. Next up, Magic Johnson. Today was the day I realized how effective you can use Magic Johnson. I think he's better on current gen than next gen, but here's the deal. If you got Kobe Bryant, you don't need to dribble the ball much with Magic anyway. You can be 6'9", a really good defender, can cheese on the interior. I think Magic Johnson is very underrated. Last but not least, Draymond Green. Now, a lot of people might be like, Ty, everybody loves Draymond. He's not underrated. I do not play against Draymond as much as I should. That card is super solid. I just feel like people still to this day sleep on Draymond Green. For me, it's Andre Drummond. If you're wondering why, all you got to do is go watch the No Money Spent Squad series. He is an absolutely immaculate inside big. Next award is our best token reward. Now we're going to go to the best token reward for their specific value, because John Collins is 150 tokens. Now, if you locked in for John Collins, all I can really say is I'm sorry, okay? You got a very mediocre power forward, probably not even a top 10 power forward in the game. But if you're a big Atlanta Hawks fan, do what you had to do. Colin Sexton up next. For a diamond's not terrible, but the problem is he's 6'1", right? It's hard to use 6'1" point guards in 2K. Last but not least, Amethyst Danny Green. Maybe the best card out of all three of these. I mean, Danny Green is a guy that you can play that shooting guard position. He's not going to be the best shooting guard in the game, but he has a decent enough release, and he is going to be able to hold it down. For me, I'm taking Danny Green just because he is the best for his specific value. There's no questions asked. Next award is our budget MVP, in which each and every one of these cards is under 20,000 MT. Now, Draymond Green, probably the most expensive. We just got done talking about him. I think he's so underrated, so underappreciated. I just upgraded my Draymond to LeBron, so it's kind of hard to compare those two. If you aren't able to get Bron, not able to get Giannis, Dre is a perfect guy to plug in at the power forward position. Scottie Pippen, guy hasn't been talked about too much, about 10,000 MT, is basically a pure lock. I mean, he's basically an off-brand, like a Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi's obviously going to be able to do more offensively, has a better release, and is even a little bit better on the defensive end of the court. Scottie's 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, decent release, base 30 on, especially on next gen, is not bad at all. And then Mike Miller, a recent guy that came out as a 95, I think, driving that can shoot lights out. Jump shot 22, I wish was a little bit quicker. But still, as far as a No Money Spent Squad account, there's one guy I like over the others, and that is Miller the Killer. Mr. Inconsistent was one of the tougher awards to come up with this season. I'm going to start off with Tim Duncan, okay, guys? Tim Duncan's a card on my last No Money Spent account that I picked up, and there'd be days where I'd say, dang, this Tim Duncan is the best center in the game. Like, better than KG, better than D-Rob. And then there's the next day I'd play, and I'd be like, dude, how does anybody like this Tim Duncan card? I know he's really good defensively, has the Hall of Fame interceptor. Only a 76-3 ball, though. I mean, he can handle the ball a little bit, but not great. He's just a tough guy just to even talk about. I mean, he is really good. I don't like playing against Tim Duncan. And I think people need to respect what Tim Duncan can do. Some days I love him. Other days I'm like, how do people use this card? Buddy Hield up next. I mean, I really thought Buddy Hield was him when he did come out. I really did. I mean, the card has a really smooth release. The Kobe base on quick. And maybe I got a little carried away with talking about how good that release was, because obviously Buddy lacks a lot. You can't just necessarily apply badges to players with Evos. They have to come with whatever they upgrade with. And that's the hard part. I mean, Buddy is really good. He's only 6'4", and he's still missing some badges, and that's why he can't be any better. Magic Johnson, when he came out, I said this card's not good. Now, I swore today that they patched Magic because I was having success with them. Maybe I still don't think they have. I just think I'm growing in there. I'm acquiring to how good Magic Johnson is. You got to know how to use him. You can't use him as that primary ball handler. But if you do know how to use Magic, I think he can be a top 3 or so point guard in the game. I think Tim Duncan is our most inconsistent player in my team. If you're wondering why, there's literally some days I think he's the best center in the game. That should say enough. Next up is our best Evo. So the best Evo award is going to go to the player who gets the best from, let's say, Buddy Hield's Amethyst to his Diamond, or Russ's non-Evo card to his Evo card. Same thing with Kevin Love, his non-Evo card to his Evo card. Not which of these cards is the best, which one gets the best upgrade. So, I mean, Kevin Love, obviously, you know what he gets, okay? He gets a lot of speed, I do believe. Becomes a pretty decent big in the game. I mean, a usable big, I will say, has a really smooth release. If you want to use Kevin Love as a stretch big, do what you got to do. Buddy, on the flip side of things, gets, I think, he becomes a lot better defensively. I do know he does get that. I mean, his Amethyst card can move and groove, but you give him that defense, it makes him that much better. Russ, again, a guy that sees a lot of upgrades in those shooting kind of categories and can be a usable point guard in the game. I don't think any of these cards are unusable. We're talking about the best Evo, though. I think it's Kevin Love. With what his Evo is, I initially thought Caleb was going to be him because his Evo, there's a lot of things that get upgraded that, I mean, really help the card out. Next up is our MVP of Season 3 of my team. talked about each and every one of these cards and what they can give you. Kawhi, the pink diamond, I think has 8 or 9 base Hall of Famers. Has a smooth release, really good on-ball defender. Bron, a guy I like on both gens. People are going to be like, well, Ty, his release on current gens is not good. It's good. He just steps in, which, I mean, I live with. I mean, I green basically every shot I shoot with Bron on current gen. The dentist, man, last but not least, you could plug in Kobe if you wanted to right there. It really all comes down to preference. Again, the Rudy base on quick. If you want to put Rudy in this MVP discussion, I don't hate you either. But the Rudy base on quick combined with everything else he gives you is absolutely immaculate. I'm giving it to Kawhi Leonard. I just think Kawhi's ability to be that secondary ball handler is crazy good. I do like LeBron better on defense, but I like Kawhi's offense just that little bit more. Going to our all Ruby team next, Jalen Noel, the moment card that did get released at the point guard position, moving to Shannon Brown, then Gerald Green at the 3. But with the 4 is an intriguing card, Mo Bamba. I wish I would have made him better at the 5. Now, none of these cards are cards I would recommend using. We've seen some Rubies in the past that I actually like more than them. Heck, even a Sapphire Jonathan Isaac would probably be the best card on this team. But with what we got in Season 3, this is our all Ruby team. Next up, the all-Ambi team. Now, if you wanted to throw Josh Giddey on this team, I don't blame you one bit, right? If you wanted to sit there and say Josh Giddey deserves a spot on this team, do what you got to do. I think Alex Caruso is that little bit better than Josh Giddey. Plugging in Rex Chapman, basically another Sam Jones at the 2. Vince at the 3. You guys know my love for Vince. Carvalho at the 4 is an interesting one for probably a lot of you guys, but I think what he gives me on the defense end is a lot. Then obviously plugging in Evan Mobley at the 5. Evan Mobley was the easiest guy to plug in to this entire team because he is absolutely incredible. Next up, the all Diamond team. Now, I don't love Jamal Crawford, but there's not many other options at that point guard position, so that's who I had to go with. Mike Miller, love him at the shooting guard. Scottie Pippen, love him at the small forward. Draymond, love him at the power forward. All 3 of those guys are in discussion for the best budget card. And then Jaren Jackson, plugging in at that center position. Now, if you wanted to go Bill Russell, cards like that at center, do what you got to do. But I think on current gen especially, I'd lean heavily into JJJ. The all-pink diamond team up next, Magic Johnson at the point guard position. Obviously, I told you guys today he's a top 3 point guard. The other cards, Gary Payton, Penny Hardaway, came out in past seasons. Terry Dishinger at the 2. Could have Kobe Bryant once again right there. Kawhi at the 3. Rudy at the 4. And then big Tim Duncan at the 5. Again, told you guys in the past that Tim Duncan is inconsistent. So we caught him on a good day. He makes the all-pink diamond team. The all-opal team last but certainly not least, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, DeMar DeRozan, Bron, and Chris Bosh. So if you're wondering who got left out, well, got Allen Iverson and Zion Williamson that did not quite make the cut. Is this all-opal team very good? I mean, you got a good front court in Bron and Bosh, but outside of those 2 guys, I personally would not be comfortable with this squad. Now, some people swear by Luka and love Luka. I'm not one of those people, but this rounds it out for the all-Galaxy Opal team. Let's get it wrapped up for our award ceremony today, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Is there any award that I missed, your favorite player, or a card that definitely deserved to be on there for? Probably is, so leave that down below in the comments, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.